What's going on, you guys? Shiraz Ahmed here with another video. Now, if you're a Canadian and you're planning to go to school in the US, this is one that you're going to want to check out. Alright, welcome back, you guys. Now, last week, I actually got a message from one of our viewers, and he's a Canadian student, and he had questions about what to do about going to school in the United States for post-secondary. And as I was going through answering some of his questions, I thought, you know what? This would be a pretty good idea for a video topic, since I get asked this question literally all the time. Now, if you're a Canadian and you're planning to go to school in the US, the first thing I gotta say to everybody is absolutely hands down, congratulations. Now, we all know it's not an easy process, especially when you have to decide to leave your home country to pursue a higher education. This goes without saying, the first step when thinking about going to school pretty much anywhere is you gotta get accepted at the place first. Now, you'll have to do this first, and every school has its own entrance requirements. Now, typically, they'll list them on their websites openly, and if you're ever unsure, you can always contact the registrar's office as well. Now, while you're at it, this is perhaps one of the best opportunities to find out more about what their pricing schedule looks like. And a disclaimer to all Canadians, if you haven't already gone down this path, don't be surprised as there will be some sticker shock here. US schools typically cost significantly more than Canadian post-secondary institutions. And of course, despite us being so close to our southern neighbors, we're actually unfortunately still considered foreign students. And as a result, you generally have to pay higher tuition than students who are either US citizens or at least if they're considered an in-state student. Now, according to a recent Maclean's article, statistics that were gathered by their college board, the average tuition for a non-resident student at a public school was $25,620. And it went up as high as $34,740 at a private not-for-profit school. Now, the average room and board in that same time frame was about $10,800 for public and about $12,210 for private schools. However, those are really just more of the sticker prices, just like you see on a car. The organization also stated the fact that the majority of students in the US typically do receive some sort of financial aid during their studies, so their actual net out-of-pocket cost is usually a lot less than what's advertised. Okay, so that said, you've been accepted, you now know how much it costs, and you have a plan to pay for it. But what about visas, though? You have to, I'm sure, need a visa to go to the US, right? Actually, you'd be wrong. Canadians, funny enough, don't need to pre-apply for any visas before traveling to the US. However, you will need to have something sorted out before you head over the border. First, you'll need proof of identity and citizenship from Canada, such as a passport. You'll also need the original I-20 document or DS-2019 certificate. Now, what is this, you might ask? Once you're accepted into a US school, they'll issue you one of these. This is proof that you're here to attend a university, and it'll actually be required to complete the next step of the process. You'll also need to register with the Student Exchange and Visitor Program, also called CVIS. Now, this is a government body that deals with international students. They also are the ones to provide accreditations to schools to allow them to accept international students. You'll have to register with them, which includes, of course, paying their fees. Now, that said, you'll want to keep the receipt. You'll need this as proof of payment at the border. Now, while you're going over the border, you'll also need to make sure that you can prove that you can actually pay for school and your living expenses. Now, you'll probably already have to show this information to your university or school prior to you leaving anyways, but make sure that that amount that you have there matches what's on your I-20 document as well. You'll also want to make sure that you have your proof of ties to Canada. The end date of your I-20 will serve as your proof of intention to return to Canada after you're done your studies. Now, when you cross the border, provide all this stuff to your border agent and let them know that you're traveling to the US for school. You'll need everything that I mentioned already, and if it was done correctly, you'll be allowed to enter the United States under what they call F1 status. A couple of things about the F1 visa. Usually, you're not allowed to work with this visa, although sometimes arrangements can be made for part-time work potentially on campus, but for all intents and purposes, you should assume that you will not be able to earn any income in the US, and you should be prepared to have both your tuition and living expenses covered during this entire period. So hopefully this clears up some of the misconceptions out there. Make sure you have your plans and paperwork sorted out before you head to the border. Your sponsoring school should be able to provide you with a lot of the information that you'll need, and they'll be the ones, of course, to deal directly with immigration to get you that F1 status, of course. Now, if you appreciate the content that I'm creating, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, as it really does help out the channel. If you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified the next time I upload another piece of content. If you have topic ideas, or even if you have individual questions of your own, I'll put my contact info at the end of this video. Please feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, please stay safe out there, you guys. Bye for now.